Good afternoon, lovely spirits. It's the wise servant here, Mr. Solace. And it's a beautiful day in New York City. So before I go outside and begin my day, I want to do this video called The 7 Chakras in the Merkaba, or the Merkaba, whichever way you prefer to pronounce it. Now, if you're a person who feels like knowledge is everything and there's no higher gift than knowledge, then I'm sure you've dug into the knowledge. And if you're on a spiritual quest, you may have came across the 7 chakras. And if you're someone who takes knowledge serious, you gather up whatever knowledge you can on the 7 chakras and try to apply it to your life however you can. And there's a whole bunch of information out there on the 7 chakras, and it's all for the most part the same, but some perspectives are different. But you try to gather up whatever information you can and apply it to your life. You have certain people that believe that certain stones can activate the 7 chakras. And there's all types of theories based on the 7 chakras. So today I want to do this video going in depth on what the 7 chakras truly are. Now first, for those that may not know, I want to break down exactly what the 7 chakras are. So these are like the 7, let's say, vital points within the body. And they have many different names depending on the language of the people. So in Hinduism, they have the 7 names for it in their language. But I'm going to just give you a simple layout of the names so you can just get an understanding of what the 7 chakras are. So you have the root chakra, and this is at the base of the spine, right above the butt crack. Then you have the sacral chakra. This is like around the pelvic area. Then you have the solar chakra, and this is above the navel. That area, that pressure point right there between the stomach and the chest. Then you have the heart chakra. We all know where the heart is. Then you have the throat chakra, you have the brow chakra, and you have the top of the head, the crown chakra. Now these are all points within the body. And this is what the 7 chakras are. Now, there's 7 tones of the chakra. And you may have heard it as being the 7 tones of creation. And it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp, because the 7 tones of creation go with the 7 chakras. So it's like, if you have a question on one thing in history, you have to go to someone else's history to get the answer. If you have a question on something in the Bible, you can go to Sumerian history and get the answer. If you have a question on Sumerian history, you can go to ancient Chem and get the answer. So it's like the knowledge is all scattered around the place. But you have the 7 tones that these 7 different chakras make. And it's Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, Ha, La. And those 7 tones are the 7 tones of creation, are the 7 tones of the chakra. Now you have to understand, each chakra, the points that I broke down to you, the crown, brow, throat, heart, etc., each chakra point within the body makes its tone sound. So the base of the spine chakra makes the Ka tone, so on and so forth. And when they make these tones or these sounds, it pushes out a vibration into the next one. So Ka will vibrate into the 2nd chakra point, and that one will give off a tone, a vibration of Ra, and that will push out its vibration into Ya. And they pretty much, the energy is pushed from one to the next, causing a up and down movement of energy, because once it goes to the crown, the energy is pushed back down. So what you have is the energy moving up and down these chakra points because of the tone that they make. So ka, ra, ya, sa, ta, ha, la, and back. And it's going up and down until it gets so fast that it's just moving in a vortex up and down. In this vortex, this is what keeps the body and the spirit intertwined. That vortex, that energy, the 7 chakras, the tones that they make, that vortex of energy that it creates, it keeps the spirit and the body, which is the astral body and the physical body, intertwined, like the snakes you see in ancient cultures that's intertwined. The chakra energy keeps that intertwined like that because of the tones that it makes. And it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp, because a lot of people wonder, okay, well, how do we activate the chakras then? And this is where it gets deep, because the chakra energy is already activated. This is the energy that's going up and down the spine, keeping the spirit and the body, or the astral and the physical, intertwined. So you don't need to activate it. What you need to do is deactivate it. See, it's a deep thing you have to grasp. Each tone creates the vortex. If a tone is knocked out of whack, let's say, then you have a gap in the order. It makes the vortex get weak. It loses, like if anything, if you lose a link, you have an opening. And this is how the astral can pass out of the interlocking. So it's a deep thing. This is how the spirit can pass out of that interlocking. When the chakras are deactivated. So it's a deep thing. We all look to activate the chakra, not realizing that it's activated already. This is why the spirit and body is intertwined. You want to deactivate it. Now, if you're having trouble grasping that, you may see in ancient cultures where they bang on drums or they use certain sounds and tones that they listen to. They're doing that to deactivate the chakra. Knock off that tone, that sync that the 7 chakras have, the ka, ra, sa, ya, ta, ha, la, to knock that off frequency so that you can create a loophole or a gap in that sync. So this is why they would use certain drums or certain tones to try and knock the chakra or deactivate the chakra, causing a gap so that the astral self can slip out. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. It's like death. When the body dies, there's no energy going through the body. So the chakra energy, that vortex that keeps the body and spirit intertwined, it's automatically knocked out of frequency because the body is not charged anymore. It's dead. Therefore, the astral or the spirit can pass through. It's unlocked free. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp with the chakras. It's not about activating the chakras. We think if we activate the chakras, we can awaken our kundalini. And we have to understand the kundalini is just the ancient word for orgasm. See, when you have that vortex energy that's going up and down, keeping the spirit and body intertwined, well, when you're having sex, the energy moves faster. And that buildup of energy, you get the release of the sexual juices or the buildup of energy. It's released. So you have to grasp. The energy is coiled at the base of the spine in the kundalini. And people believe that when it uncoils, then you get enlightened. But you have to grasp, if it's coiled at the base of the spine, when it uncoils, it will coil you out into the penis or the clitoris. And this is what that is. When it uncoils, you get the kundalini or the orgasm. So this was just their ancient way of breaking it down, and everything is kind of misinterpreted now. So the knowledge is there, but it's just misinterpreted. But this is what was trying to be done in the ancient past. It wasn't about activating the Kundalini or the 7 chakras. It was more or less about deactivating it or knocking the tone, the harmony that the 7 chakras make, knocking one of the tones out of frequency so that you can cause a gap of some sort. And it's a deep thing. If you have any knowledge of the Merkaba, this is the same exact thing, but on a macro scale. See, it's like I say, we all live within the solar being, and the solar system is an actual living being, and we live within it. In the solar system, the planets and all that, that's the solar system of the being. So you have to grasp, as above, so below. If you have 7 chakra points in you, it's the same with the being you're in. But it's called the Merkaba, and it's probably more points, let's say 10. So with the Merkaba, they're trying to do the same thing as somebody who is trying to deactivate their 7 chakras. They're trying to create an opening or a gap, because the Merkaba is the same thing. Vortex energy, keeping the astral solar intertwined with the physical solar body. And if you can knock the tones out of frequency, you can create a gap, letting the astral slip through. So this is what the Merkaba is. It's just on a larger scale, on a macro scale. But you have to understand, the life is within the life. The sperm is the spirit. Solar being, man, cell, atom, galaxy. You have to understand, these are all the same things, just on larger scales of life. And the life is within the life. So you live within your world. And then you have micro cells within you, and your body is their world. But it's all intertwined because it's all the same world. If you split yourself open, let's say, cells is exposed to your world because they're only closed off from your world because your body is their world. So your body, which is their world, is what closes them off from this dimension. And it's the same with us. We live within the solar. In that solar system, our sun, its physical body is what blocks us off from seeing its reality, which we wouldn't be able to perceive anyway because we'd be too small, just like the microcells within you. But this is how the Merkaba is. It's the same as the 7 chakras, which all has to do with the 7 tones of creation. So the 7 chakras go with the 7 tones of creation. And each chakra point has its tone, and this energy is pushed into the other chakra point, setting off its tone. So you get going up, bang, 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 7, then 7 back down, until it speeds up enough to where you get friction, and you create a vortex, and this is intertwining the spirit and the body. And it's a simple, deep thing. Deactivate it, you have to knock the harmony out of order some kind of way. And then you have to use tone. Some people may be gifted enough where they can just do it on their own. But in any event, when y'all buy these stones and things to try to activate your chakra, this is not going to do anything because you don't need to activate it. It's already activated. In the ancient times, they were trying to deactivate it in a sense. Not deactivate it completely, but make one of the tones slip out of pocket or out of frequency so that it can create a gap for the astral. Now, does this mean a person can astral project? No. When you release the astral from the physical body will die. So you have to grasp, when you hear people telling stories about how they were looking down at themselves, usually that's all that happened, and then they came back into their body, but a lot of time passed. So you have to grasp, if you astral project, you're dealing with space-time now. Completely different thing. You astral project for 20 minutes, you come back, 50 years passed. Body rotted away. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. When you're dealing with astral, you're dealing with different time and things. So This has nothing to truly do with astral projecting. This has to do with just escaping out of the physical. See, the astral can always get another physical body. So it's a simple, deep thing. If you read in ancient writings like Thoth, and he was speaking of astral projecting, but he didn't call it that. But when he was speaking of astral projecting, he wasn't talking about coming back the same time. If you can read right, you'll realize that when he was coming back, large gaps of time was passing. So it's a deep thing y'all have to grasp. That's the 7 chakras. And you have to have the proficient amount of knowledge to truly understand things. You can't just know one thing. It's deeper than that. You have to know a variety because, like I said, the knowledge is like scattered. The answer to this question in this history is in this person's history. This is how we're all interlocked. It's a deep thing you have to grasp. But anyway, that was the 7 chakras in the Merkaba. And hopefully that helps some of y'all out. And I want to say donate. Now, you don't have to get lost and say, oh man, Solace is all about the money. I'm all about give and receive. I'm all about balance. We all knows what happens when things are imbalanced. You get friction. So some people may say, man, Solace be cursing people out. He rude. We following him and he rude. But it's an imbalance because I'm giving so much knowledge and y'all don't give back. So this automatically creates an imbalance. It's like a woman, if she's in a relationship with a guy and he's cheating and she's all in loyal, but she knows he's cheating. Well, she can't lie to herself, so this will cause an imbalance to them. No matter how much she tries to pretend for the public, it will cause an imbalance in their relationship, and this is how we are. The imbalance is too much. I'm giving y'all knowledge that's like top level. People have to go through years and years of secret societies just to grasp this type of stuff. And y'all getting it free. And you know it's real. You know the 7 chakras, what I just broke down, it may not go with what you've heard. But what we've heard never truly fully fulfills us. So it's like you have the knowledge you have of the 7 chakras, but you still have yet to activate it or been able to put it to any true good use in your life as it said it's supposed to. Your crown hasn't lit up and you haven't become divine and none of this is truly happening. You just have the knowledge of this. And this is why that's like that, because that's not accurate. Now, if you understand what I said, you could actually apply that and learn how to knock your chakra out of frequency so you can release the astral. But I don't think you want to do that. What you want to do is just loosen it up enough so that you can astral project in dream state. So it's like the ancient, I think the Navajo, they had a thing called dream time. And this is what they were doing. They were experiencing life through the astral while they were still intertwined in a sense. It's a deep thing you have to grasp, but everything boils down to balance. So we just have to do better with give and receive. I'm going to continue to give this knowledge out as I've been doing. Those of you who are on a certain conscious frequency will grasp. Those of you that need to build your conscious up more, I have a ton of videos. Go through them. Get the building. And you'll truly grasp. And it's a deep thing. I also want to say, there's a difference between entertainment and teaching. Now, I know YouTube is an entertainment thing. And y'all see me teaching on here, so the lines can get blurred. And I don't want anyone to get it mistaken. This is why I do my videos in solitude. Because I'm just here to teach. I'm not here for the entertaining aspect. Anything I do in my personal life, that's my entertainment for me. So this is why I don't have other people in the videos and a whole bunch of things going on. If I do a video outside, it's usually on the land, and I try to keep it on teaching. No drama in my videos. You don't see, I don't do none of that. Because I want to keep it on teaching. All of that is personal stuff. It's no room for that. I'm not going to merge the two. So this is why I do that. I just want y'all to understand, when you watching my videos, this is all have to do with teaching. You may laugh, you may be a little entertained, whatever the case may be, but just understand this is just for teaching. The entertainment aspect, this is where the other brothers, they fall into that category. The other teachers, they have about 80% entertainment, where they're arguing and fighting and covering the latest gossip, and then they may touch on a subject or two here and there. And I try to keep mine the complete reverse of that. If you go through all of my videos, I say who I am. This is the wise one, Mr. Silas, and I go straight into a certain topic and subject, and I break down the knowledge and information on it. So I keep it all teaching, all business all day. So it's a deep thing I want y'all to grasp. If I get a little frustrated, it's because of the imbalance, and it's because of the environment. I'm in entertainment. I'm in an entertainer's environment. But this is the only way to reach people, so I have to do it this way. But the imbalance is what's causing the friction. And it's a deep thing. But it's your main man, Silas. That was 7 Chakras in the Merkaba. GoFundMe.com/SilasSolari. PayPal.me/SilasSolari. And I have 5 books you can get. If you're into reading, I have one called The Creation Story. It's called Flames in Darkness. Very good book. Give you a better perspective of the creation story in the beginning, the Big Bang Theory and all this. Give you a perspective on that. I have Spiritual Diet 101, which breaks down what the spirit eats as opposed to what the body eats. So I have that, breaking it down. It's like a little exercise book that you can do every day to begin to build your spirit back up in what it feeds on and things like this, which is the emotion. So your emotional state is what your spirit is feeding on. So the book breaks that down, and it's a good book. I also have Knowledge with Silas 1 and 2. So if you're not a Facebook friend of mine, then you don't get to see all my cool posts. So this book is basically all my cool posts broke down in depth. So the post may just have a paragraph, a picture with a paragraph under it on Facebook. In the book, you have the picture, the paragraph from Facebook, and then you have all the knowledge and the whole point behind it in the book, Knowledge with Silas. And then, of course, I have the sperm is the spirit, which is the base of the teachings. You have to grasp that. That's like 101 of life. So it's a deep thing you have to grasp. I have those 5 books you can purchase, PDF file, physical, whatever. And it's your main man, Silas. Staying busy, staying positive, and trying to pull in and push out good energy. Because that's what it's all about. I'm going to go out here and enjoy this beautiful day. Beautiful day is beautiful energy. You got to meet it. It's a beautiful thing. It's your main man, Silas. Y'all be groovy.